P-Flows.
Thank you, baby.
Got a lot of different angles.
Ooh, baby, we look live right now. Yeah.
With how many injuries we had, I'm waiting for people to just stomp on my ankle.
Welcome to the Sunday Soak. Powered by Goose Island, as always.
I got the dink detector.
Dink
detector,
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not touching you guys.
We don't want to touch you either.
Bottom cheers, you know?
You guys.
Wonderful. The humble brag is that White Sox Twitter barely made it through yesterday's double loss. It was ugly. All right? We had some problems. There's a lot of infighting. I saw some people crying. There may have been a couple deaths. I don't know. But today, I think we're recovered. We're going to be back at it. What do you guys think?
I'm ready, man. And this has been what the Sox do, right? They lose 2 of 3 to good teams.
Yes.
I think the Cardinals are a good team, despite how long they were on hiatus. So we'll see if today is the day that they win.
And they're well rested. That's what I think about it, right? If LeBron got 2 weeks off, he'd come back and play great, right? That's how the Cardinals did.
Okay. I think that's what happened. And I'll tell you what. I mean, if the Sox win today, still 500.
Still 500.
Yeah,
Baby, we're back in it.
Yeah, I think it gets lost out there, right? That the Sox are still kind of competitive. They're not out of it, right? Even though they look like total dog shit sometimes, they're still in this. I had a slight thing. My daughters and my wife are doing a Sunday soak also at the house, as they said that they were going to do when I left. The topics will be Barbie shoes. Where do they go?
Okay.
Hot dogs. Why can't we have them for breakfast? And the last thing is different hairstyles that Dad can do. So they're going to talk about all these things. Check them out on 108 Kids on the Facebook.
Excellent. That's great.
Is this really going to be on Facebook?
No.
Those are good questions. I was like, fuck, I
Barbie
get
shoes,
to
where do they go? I was like, this is perfect.
It's on 4chan.
It's on 4chan.
It's in the dark web right now. All right, so let's get to the questions. We always do all question show here in the Sunday Soak. The first question, we're going to lead off with a longtime guy, Bennett Carroll. He says, so there was a doubleheader yesterday. What would it be like to have a double head, i.e., 2 heads on your shoulders, different reins? Boys, who'd like to go first?
So I thought a lot about this. But the main thing that I was trying to think through is, let's say, how much effect that brain has on the rest of your body.
Right.
Right? Because I was thinking it would be awesome if you could, the one head was just partying all day, right? And then you're like, man, I got to get home. And you wake up the other head and say, you got to drive. And you just pass out. But other head is there, and he's riding a lot. I like that idea. Or, if you had a pretty sweet arrangement with other head, you can be like, all right, I'm only working 3 days a week. You're working the other 2, and then we're going to swap.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I mean, all roads lead to I'm getting wasted way more because other head can deal with my shit later. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I like the idea. It sounds fun.
What do you think?
How does it work though? Would both heads be married to my wife, or is one head married to the somebody else? Because there was this what do they call them? Conjoined twins? Yeah, there was conjoined twins on a Howard Stern. I think it was called the U.S. Open Soars, where they played tennis. Okay. And the one sung the national anthem, but the other one wanted nothing to do with it, so just sat there with a face and just was whatever. But she was giving it up for her sister to live her dream to become a pop star. So I just want to know how this is all split. I know there's only one genitalia. Is it controlled by one head?
Single genitalia.
It's
what if, and it's a good point with the wife, right? What if there's different personalities,
right?
And different, and what they're into is different.
Yep.
Right? What if one is really into your wife,
yep,
and likes all the same stuff, and you guys really get along, but the other one's kind of an asshole, and he likes a completely different type of woman.
It's kind of like me drunk. I think, I become an asshole when I'm drunk. Actually, that's not true at all. I'm the same dick, sober or drunk. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's what I got to find out. Is one really racist and crazy, and one is really nice and helps children. But while he's helping the children, the other one's fuck you, you know? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I'll be honest with you. I only
What about you?
had two major thoughts. I agree with Teresi. Having the two heads, when you're driving, one head could be paying attention to the road. The other head could scan Twitter or look at YouTube videos or whatever. So it's a much safer world we're driving around. The other thing, and maybe this is just specific to me, I don't know, probably maybe you guys too. I think both of my heads will be eating all the time. And so I think it's so much fatter. Like,
That's true.
I might be double my weight that I am right now because both heads are going to be starving all the time like I am. So I'm not sure it's a good idea in general. It has some functional uses, though.
You're the fattest starving guy I've ever seen.
The next question is from White Sox Sal.
Hey, fuck you, Sal.
Thank
Happy
you.
Sunday.
And he says, if this pandemic baseball season happened in 1986, how long would it take the Mets to all get COVID and have their season canceled?
I was thinking about this, right? And I was thinking about the Mets in particular, and some of the stuff that I read about Keith Hernandez in the Pirates book. Like he's on the Cardinals at the time, but he's part of it.
Yeah.
So my initial thought was, man, it would be like instant, right? But then I thought about it. They all had like these special dealers in every town.
Yep.
That they knew, and that those guys were like they would cater just to them. Like, if that's the case, I would assume that they would never get it because they would all just be holed up in a hotel room doing cocaine,
Yeah.
and they go straight to the field and play baseball. It sounds like what they should do now. Maybe that's how the Cardinals got out of the COVID thing. That's why they came out firing yesterday. They're all coked up out of their minds.
I mean, what are they using to get the cocaine delivery source, right? Probably like money. And so what I've heard is money is really dirty, right?
Sure.
Like it's full of COVID.
Yeah.
So I think they would get like, because the amount of cocaine they did, $2 $50 bills, like they probably got like it all over the place.
You gotta read that book, man. They were stiffing these dudes left and right for the cocaine.
Oh no, but I'm saying when they're snorting it, not paying
You
for
said
it.
roll it up.
Yeah, they could. I mean, I guess they didn't have Bitcoin in '86, but still, like they were just, and it's like COVID just straight up into your brain.
But we're still. I mean, you're thinking about the modern world where there's no plastic straws. Plastic straws were everywhere.
Well, it's true.
Most buildings were made of mostly plastic straws in the 80s.
I agree. The only thing I have to add is that I'm pretty sure Keith Hernandez would get away with it all. He wouldn't get COVID because he's unkillable like a cockroach.
That's true. His cat is awesome.
Yes, he is. All right, the next question is from King Nam. He says, how can I get rid of Queen Nam without going to jail?
So I gave this a little bit of thought, and I think you should just encourage her to go into her DMs and start responding to anybody that messages her.
That's what I think.
I think, like, from what I've heard, I know my DMs are fairly empty.
Yeah.
Other than, like, Kobe's burner telling me what songs to listen to.
Yeah. trying to tell you that Rod Stewart's great.
Okay. That was one of my rare disagreements with
Is that
him. on
inside
music.
baseball?
One of my rare disagreements with him on music. But I feel like from the women I talk to in the Twitterverse, the DMs fill up pretty quickly. So I assume that if Amy if he was encouraging Amy to get out there and start DMing with the fine assortment of gentlemen that are on Twitter, like I'm sure she would find a suitable suitor very quickly.
And she's partial to the Cubs too, so there's probably even more great suitors in the Cubs.
I mean, sometimes they get over to White Sox Twitter and they're just gems.
I think you just let her have the house
Real
and the
class.
kid, and then just let her find another guy. Like you just kind of leave, And I mean, you can't find
Go out for
anybody in
cigarettes?
Lansing.
Go out for cigarettes,
go out
never
for
come
some
back?
smokes.
No. This is none of this shit is gonna work. King Nam, the way to do this, you cheap prick, just buy that fucking lake house
This guy's
and
gonna
fill
get
it with cats. And she'll never come back. She'll stay at that lake house.
Really.
You'll never see her again, okay? This is the real way to do it. I'm telling you, all right?
That will literally get rid of all of our.
Absolutely.
Well, my wife doesn't.
Yeah, mine doesn't either. It basically be close.
All right, next question is from Sock Supporter. It's specific to Treasy. He says Treasy has to go to one of the following concerts and sit in the front row: Taylor Swift, Nickelback, MC Hammer, Psy, which apparently is a K-pop star. I did not know who that was. I had to do a little research. And Madonna.
So
Treasy.
I will let.
Inside
I'm not going to
Gangnam
answer
Style?
this for
Gangnam Style. or whatever.
you guys. No.
Yeah.
If you guys answer who you'd want me to go see first, and then I'll answer who I would go see, and out of that group.
Out of this,
Yeah.
out of that group, who I want him to go
Who
see?
do you want Treasy to go see? So front row.
Oh, Nickelback, 100%. Like that's not even a question.
I don't think that would be that bad.
I think we should do it then.
Nickelback is the Guy Fieri of music. Like he's fine, but like they're
Oh my
fine.
God.
Guy Fieri is fine.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
god.
don't choose to like watch or listen to a lot of that, but like they're not as bad as people make them out to be. There's a lot worse shit out there.
Now, to me, easily the best show, in my opinion, would be Madonna. But that's not what I'm
Great
that's not what I'm sending you to. I'm going to send you to MC Hammer because I want you to see old MC Hammer dancing around with his pants and shit and
I
doing all
think
this
that was
shit.
too entertaining.
At first, I thought MC Hammer
Yeah.
because I was like, I love MC Hammer. I have MC Hammer CDs still. So like,
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
yes,
CDs, like more than one.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
you gotta pray. I'm gonna make it today. All right. So, but then I thought because
Give me the.
I read it and it said
Or
front row,
thank you.
and I've seen the Pumps in a Bump video.
I don't want to be that close to MC's Hammer. It's like being front row at a Gallagher show.
You have to put up a poncho.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You gotta protect yourself.
You don't want to get wet.
So I'm gonna go.
You don't want Marcus Johnson to turn around and hit you by mistake.
I'm gonna go Madonna because Madonna is fantastic.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are probably like, oh, Taylor Swift is great. Madonna's like the OG Taylor Swift. Like they're both gigantic pop stars. And
Yes.
at the time, like I was coming of age with Madonna,
Oh man.
right?
Coming.
Sure
Okay.
were. Damn.
I feel creepy as shit being front row at Taylor Swift show. Madonna's my age bracket. I ain't jumping out of my age bracket like that. That's just too creepy. I'd rather just be a normal creep.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Respectable creep. Is what you'd be.
An honorable creep.
All right. The next question is from our guy, Dave Farley. And he says,
What up, Dave?
Yeah, what's up, Dave? He says, Goose Island comes to us and they want to make a Section 108 beer. What's the name of the beer? What type of beer? And tell us a little bit about the can design. I saw some of what you got from me,
This is easy. I already sent it to you guys this week.
Yep.
And I literally just sent this, and it was, no, it was not gummy induced because I tried to lay off the edibles this week. It is going to be.
Try it.
It's going to be called Goose Island from the 108 Wax Pack Bubblegum IPA.
Yes.
And it could be a dipper. It could do a double IPA.
I'd like that.
But it is definitely bubblegum flavor from the old baseball packs. The can design is going to be 3 packs of cards, our fucking ugly mugs on them, and then something on the bottom is like collect all of them or something. Like we can even do special cans. I don't know, but the biggest thing that we need to remember is it's bubblegum IPA.
So I think
delicious.
you're probably going to jump on this and be like, bubblegum is too sweet. But I think you're not remembering how that Topps bubblegum tastes because it's a dull. It's a dull sweetness.
I was just going to say, I could already taste the stiff piece of gum that was pressed up against Ruben Sierra's ass that is going to be in this beer. It's going to be amazing. I look so forward to this.
I like that you want to use bubblegum that was pushed up against Ruben Sierra's ass.
On the card. I meant the card. You know what I mean?
All
Like,
right.
I know.
Literally everyone would eat bubblegum that's been on Ruben Sierra's ass.
Absolutely.
This.
Yes.
oh, it's Julio Franco.
Well, Sierra had a weird stance.
He had a weird
But,
story.
he didn't have the over the
He was
top.
like
That was
this,
Julio
too.
Franco.
He was just holding up that ball.
Yeah. Bubblegum sword.
What do you guys think we should have?
I love that idea. Fuck it. That's the idea,
No,
baby.
that's the idea.
I can't. I will send it to our guy and we'll make sure this
I
happens.
hope Goose Island's watching.
There's no further comments on that one. All right, next question is from Aaron Fitzmagic, and this is a either or. Double cheeseburger. You got to go McDonald's or Burger King. I'm gonna go my side summer first. Here.
And probably, to be honest, Burger King.
You go next.
McDonald's easily. It's not Burger King. I don't even ever go to Burger King. When I do get like a chicken sandwich or something, I'm gonna get fucking burger.
I'm gonna fuck everyone up here.
I've never had either.
Oh,
That's right.
I have never eaten
a McDonald's or a Burger King cheeseburger. Never in my life.
I would think that the
Motherfucker.
You like your hamburgers neat.
I like my hamburgers neat, but also I'm going nugs at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right?
Nugs are strong.
And I'm doing the same at Burger King, unless they got the chicken fries. Then I'll just get like 16 orders of chicken fries. Eat 160 chicken fries in a sitting.
Like Cambridge's hair, that's strong.
The Burger King bun is a hell of a lot better than the McDonald's bun. And the flame broiled,
We just
I don't
keep
know.
coming
I
back
mean,
to
it's,
buns.
it's a tough call.
Let me just tell you, McDonald's food's all sprinkled with oxy. That's why you get addicted to it so easy. Like Burger King don't even know what they're doing over there. Okay,
You know what they have? McDonald's has over Burger King though is the minced onions. Those are just delicious because you can have them everywhere. Like you can spread them on the whole burger,
I agree.
and it's delicious. You don't get one big bite of an onion. You're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
overpower. It's sprinkled all throughout. Just
That
like
would be
the oxy.
another good thing with two heads. You could have one eat the onions and one not eat the onions, and then you can still get legs.
This is the way we'll do it. We'll have the two heads eat it. When we get our two heads, we'll have them try it at the
Yeah,
same
which
time,
is
and then
fun.
we'll figure it out. You know. All right. The next question is from Entropic Mick, and he says, "If you're the manager, what punishment will you inflict on the next White Sox player that slides head first into first base?"
So I gave this a little bit of thought.
Mm.
And I was going to cut their hands off, but that just kind of defeats the purpose.
That seems like a little bit much.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this person in their daily life wear the mittens all the day. All day. They have to wear the mittens so that they appreciate how much they use their fucking hands. Right? And then they can go like, oh, maybe I shouldn't try and destroy these things every time there's a close play at first.
That's a really good answer. I'm gonna go with that. I was gonna say that their significant other should get somebody from White Sox Twitter gets their significant other. Like,
Oh!
They slid at
that's actually better answer.
They slid at first in the first base. They didn't bang Ricky's daughter.
Who knows?
Allegedly.
That kind of crazy
Yeah,
behavior leads to other crazy behavior. Okay? That's all I have to say.
I was thinking way
It's a gateway
different.
drug that's sleeping with the manager's dog.
I was thinking about this way different than you guys. I was thinking that player should have to spend a week laundering Don Cooper and Daryl Boston's trousers.
Oh.
If you gotta
That's
launder all
good
their
too.
clothes,
Yeah.
you will remember not to do some shit you're not supposed to. You know, like these are the kind of penances I like to give. You know, yours is a little like I like yours, Treasy, but it's just not enough. It's got to be a little further than
I
that.
think most players would opt for my Sox Summers over here. They're like, just send Avi to my house. Jeez, I'm not touching Don Cooper's
Do you
drawers.
guys wear white underwear? I do not wear white
No.
underwear. I wear dark colored underwear.
I do too.
So
I
like,
assume,
but you know Don Cooper's wearing big
yeah.
whitey tighties.
The thing is, though, you might get
You're
out
probably
easy.
still looking for
Well,
big
it's possible Debo don't wear underwear.
Devo wears like that shit that Pedro Serrano wore, like those big jock
It's like a
straps.
jock strap. Yeah, it's
that's
a jock
what
strap only. Yeah,
He
he's
walks
got
out-
bare ass cheek like
Yeah.
underneath his pants. You know that's true, all right? I mean,
100%.
all right, any of you beat reporters, the next time you talk to Kenny Williams, I want you to ask if back in the day when they played, Daryl Boston wore the jock strap with the ass hanging out. That's what we need to know this, okay? It's
Maybe we'll
important
ask
shit.
him in a DM, just not in person. You know, we'll ask
Right.
him in a DM.
You got to keep your street cred. You know?
Yep.
All right, so the next question is from Aloha Mr. Hannon. He wants to know, why didn't Ricky use Bernardo Flores at the end of the game and save a bullpen run?
Can I go?
Go for it, baby.
Hey.
You.
I have a conspiracy theory here.
Uh-oh.
So I think this is the second time in a row that Ricky has asked the front office, may I please have someone who can go a couple of innings?
Dane Dunning.
And this is the second time in a row he didn't get Dane Dunning. The first time, we all wanted to murder him for letting Drew Anderson pitch, and he did.
Yeah.
So this time he just said, F it, I'm not even going to pitch the guy that you sent. And I think it's more of an FU to the front office for just refusing to give him Dane Dunning than it is like, okay, that I should probably not use Steve Cishon, right? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to go. But just like that wasp that just got it. But yeah, so I think that was my thought, and I actually DM'd that to you guys.
So funny.
That's a lot of it. All right.
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah, so that's my conspiracy theory. I don't know if that's actually true or if he just didn't feel like there was a situation to put him into, but like that's what it felt like to me.
I have no thoughts on it.
Do you know who Bernardo Flores is?
I know that they didn't pitch because I saw people reading it. I had my sister in town yesterday. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, sissy! But I'll never see this. And so I didn't really get to watch the game. And when they were down 5-1 very quickly in both games, I was like, hey, what are we doing?
Like Dr. James Carville in Old School. All I'll say is that was perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The next question is from our longtime guy, Jason Hosking. He wants to know. Love that guy. If the one-awayers played golf, who would be the most anal about keeping score properly? And whether or not to use an off-foot wedge to your advantage is legal or not. I have no idea what that second part was at all. Okay? But I was trying to think
Let me
about.
explain to you what an off-foot wedge is.
Yeah, go for it.
I have no idea.
I work for Ping. I have no idea what an off-foot wedge is. I know what a pitching wedge is. Like you have different wedges that you use, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of assume it's some sort of cheating technique, but I don't care. I was just trying to think of the 108ers actually golfing. So a few things I know would be true. Number one, we would be too drunk to drive the cart by the fourth hole, maybe, or fifth hole, something like that.
Awesome.
Second, my Soxer would be out in the forest looking for everyone else's golf balls they lost, so he could immediately sell them on fucking eBay. So we'd lose him about the eighth hole. And then Teresa and I love to gamble on everything. So we would probably stop playing, join another foursome, and bet huge sums on whatever the fuck they're doing. That's all about, right? Yeah. You're only going to be out harvesting. And you're going to be harvesting some parts.
So I would think, to answer his first question, I would assume that if it's the three of us, one other person golfing, and if it's not Jason, it would probably be Jason.
Yeah.
But it would be probably Aloha Mr. Hand.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he has golfed before, and he might be able to show us how to do this. And so I think he would be the most anal about the scorekeeping because he would just be frustrated with us. Just like I remember one time our buddy, a different sell the balls out guy.
Yeah.
Took me golfing. And
those are some good stories.
Now
we'll say those for another time.
Now me and Pete, when we played baseball, we were both fairly good hitters. We got some power and we got great hips, and that's what it really comes down to. It's all in the hips. And so I was able to hit the ball fairly far, and it would get close to the green. We're playing on like what do they call it?
Par three.
Par three.
Yeah. And so I get on the green, and I was just I was terrible at putting because I've never done it, and I didn't really take it all that seriously. And I remember by like the ninth hole, he was just like yelling at me.
We're not coming close on any of my putts.
And he's like, I'm trying to tell you what to do. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you I don't care. And so I imagine it would be a lot like that with the Aloha Mr. Hand because he would be trying to instruct and help, and we would not care.
See, I think he'd be laughing his ass off. Like, he'd have to tell us which direction we're supposed to hit the ball in because we didn't know where the hole's at. Like, I think he would think it was hilarious, though. Yeah. Like that. Don't you?
Yeah. No, I was on the golf team in high school, for 2 days, because they made you go out and then tee off in front of the entire team, and the younger guys went first. Yeah. So the first tee shot that I hit off in front of everybody went way right. So I think that's a hook, or is that a slice? I don't know.
I think it's a slice.
Whatever.
All right.
And there was a guy mowing, and it hit his steering wheel and shot straight up, or else he would have died. And I was like, you know what? I'm good on the golf. I don't even do this shit no more. We can't even drive a cart, which is the funnest part about golf. But side story, the time before we went to the same golf course, the time before we went and we were on the team, found a shitload of marijuana growing in a cornfield right next to it. Grabbed all that shit, brought it home, tried it out, smoked it, got the biggest headache I've ever had in my life. It was the best time.
Because that was industrial.
That was making rope. Smoke some rope, kid. Here you go. I see things haven't changed much. That's like something. All right. The next question is from Ted. He says, do you think the arm injuries this year in MLB can be attributed to being forced to masturbate so much more on the road due to social distance?
You know what? We're not White Sox insiders. We're not really White Sox insiders, so we kind of don't
know this kind of stuff.
Right.
And Fangraphs and Baseball Savant have not yet added the WAP stat
Yeah.
for us to know what's going on.
My suggestion is maybe DM Scott Perkin, DM James
I'll
Fegan.
send you the video. I'll send you the video.
I think that's the best way to figure this out. We don't know the kinetic chain like that. We don't know how the physiology about how, doing that thing would strengthen or not strengthen or wear out.
The real question is, though, do you truly believe that they're practicing social distancing? Literally every team is missing games.
Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely correct. All right, next question.
That's the greatest question we've ever had.
The next question
In my opinion.
is, I'm violating the rules a little bit because usually we only allow one question per person in this season at Sunday
This is
So.
a good question.
But Mr. Hand had two good questions. We're going to use them both. Mr. Hand says, pick a member of White Sox Twitter to be the GM and pick another member to be the manager of the current White Sox.
So I thought, let's find the people that are most critical of each and then put them into the positions, right? So I'm going to give the GM spot to Covey's Burner
Okay.
because
Yep.
he obviously knows what Rick Hahn should be doing.
Yep.
And then I'm going to give the manager spot to James Fox
Yes. Okay.
because even if you induce a ground ball from Paul Goldschmidt, it's still the worst idea ever in the history of baseball to pitch to him. So these two guys are the most critical of those guys. So I'd love to see them work together in this fashion.
Nothing could be better than that.
Oh man, it'd be beautiful.
Go ahead, White Sox. Howard.
I have two thoughts. My first thought is that I want Nick BPS to be the GM and the manager.
Okay.
Because I think his head will explode because he'll hate himself and call himself. Like he doesn't know that himself is doing it, so it's just going to combust and just blow up.
This is a good two-head situation.
Right? Yeah, he could have two heads. Second, we could get Ozzie Jr. to be the manager.
I
And we
thought
could
about
get
this
Kenny
too.
Jr. to be the GM. I think that would be great. It's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 2, right? Like you bring in the same guys, but it's not really the same, and it's like a different story. It's not as good as the first one, and so we'll just see where it goes. I think it'd be great. They might get along and do a really good job.
Yeah, this was kind of tough for me. I had two people in my head for manager to start. You need paper umbrella?
Well, I
You
like
got paper
them.
umbrella. You can paper umbrella you. Let's see what we got.
This needs to re-enter the wall.
Oh, baby. Let's stick it back in.
Put it in. Oh yeah.
Might as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You want a paper umbrella too?
What do we got? That's it.
How about the dank? You got the dank? All right, let's get the dank.
John Dank's
Oh, I didn't know
detective.
there was more days.
Let's get the thing.
I'll tell this all.
Well, you should know this.
Great. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Now you can.
Not fucking talking. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
You can speak.
You fat fuck.
I'm sorry.
All right. So my two thoughts for manager were in very different directions. First, I thought we'll just put Summer George in the dugout because whenever they pan to him, he'll be doing some crazy shit. Like he won't have a shirt on, he'll be drinking tequila out of a bat. And then,
shoes.
yeah, and then I'll have different mustaches and weird shit. So I thought, well, at a minimum, if the staff's going to frustrate us, at least George will be a lot of fun if he was in the dugout. He wouldn't be doing much other than what he normally does on Twitter.
I know he's got a girlfriend now, but he had like a bevy of White Sox thirst traps to keep the guys entertained.
That would be the rest
motivated.
of that's the rest of the staff.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. But then I thought, no, you know what? I could go for my guy Tom Fornelli to be in the dugout for two different reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, he used his Red Sox account to talk shit about his own decisions that he just made
Yes.
because he likes kind of making fun of
I like
himself
that.
and everyone else. And two, he's gonna be all you Pete Rose supporters out there, all you Pete Rose truthers, has got to be in the Hall of Fame. Tom Fornelli will gamble more on the baseball than anyone ever has from a dugout. It will be an outlandish amount of bets going in. He'll have 7 laptops going and all kinds of models running, and he'll be betting like hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. So Pete Rose gets automatically into the Hall of Fame with that.
I was like, I don't care how much many games I win, how much money I win. It's the only thing that's
Who's your GM?
So my GM, I thought about this a little more. I thought, you know what? A lot of us, we just have too much old White Sox shit to really make clear decisions for this team. A lot of us older timers, we can't do it. So I'm going with someone younger. I'm going to go with Alexis Atwater because she doesn't have the fucked up stuff about all these old White Sox teams. She can probably think a lot clearer than mostly anyone else. So you got to go someone in the early 20s, in my opinion, and that's what I'm going with.
No,
In general, Alexis thinks a lot more clear.
Well, definitely than us. Yeah.
In fact, the fact that both of us said more clearer.
Plus, your dad will kick anybody's ass that talks shit about it.
That's true.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's an enforcer,
The only
baby.
other one that I thought was, and it doesn't matter which order you put these two in, but I just want White Sox Dave and Ken W.O. to have to work together in any fashion. I would think Dave would be the GM and Ken would be the manager. Ken feels like that's what he would want to be.
Yeah.
It would be rough and rowdy, like after every home
Oh
game.
my God.
Because he called everyone in the dugout a candy ass. Like, he needs to be with the people. He can't be up in the box.
You know that's a bell, sir. Sit down.
And he would definitely call out Dave, and Dave would call out him.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, this might really be what we all want out of a GM.
Exactly.
I don't think either of them can take the pay cut it would be to go to the White Sox.
I
so
agree.
I don't think that could
That's
happen.
true.
Yeah, right. All right, the next question is from Luis Roberts Buttcheeks. And Luis Roberts Buttcheeks wants to know, James McCann has started out the season outplaying Yasmani Grandal. What's his case for being the number one guy behind the plate? And what do you think the long-term plan is both for McCann and for the White Sox behind the plate?
So I don't think there's a case for him to be the number one guy, because we saw this story last year, right? Like, he started out hot and then he regressed. I assume that you're going to see that.
It's just a regular
Yasmani's getting on base a lot right now, but
No
he's not hitting any power. So as soon as he gets a couple home runs, those stats are going to start to even out. And much like throughout their career, they're only 1 year apart in age too. It's not like McCann is much younger. You just probably see McCann a lot less.
Yeah.
Grandal will get back to will ascend back to his mean. McCann will regress back to his mean. And you will see that, like, Grandal is a better player. However, long term, I agree that McCann should be part of this team. He's a great backup catcher. He's exactly what you want in a backup catcher, because he could start on like half the team.
Yeah.
And so that's what you always want. You always want to get, that's why you sign a guy like Grandal. You already have a good player there. Now you put an even better player on top of that, and now you've got two really good players. If one of them gets hurt, you're still good. Like, that's the exact idea you want. I would sign James McCann because I think he's a good guy. He's probably going to be loyal to you because you're the first team that's really given him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say you sign him to like a Tim Wakefield style contract, and you say, like, you make $5 million every year and there's a mutual option at the end of each year, and then it's $2 million, right? Wakefield was 3-1, and you do this in perpetuity, and until you guys both decide, like, okay, this isn't working anymore, and then you give him $2 million to go home. That is the kind of contract I'd like to see for a guy like that. He's the top end of backup catchers.
Yeah.
And so I would say treat him like that, pay him like that.
I suck some.
What do you like? I like this discussion. I like what you just said. What do you do with fucking Zach Collins? Why is he still here? You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's why they gave McCann a 1-year contract this year, thinking they're going to see what Collins is, and they have.
I don't.
Sign McCann.
I mean, like, listen, I like the dancing for Dubs. I like Zach Collins. He must be a really good clubhouse guy.
Yep.
But like, we have three fucking guys that should be able to play catcher on a daily basis, right? Or, for the most part. But Collins could be a good backup. But yet we only have 3 starting pitchers. So like, we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Maybe McCann,
All right?
maybe Collins can pitch.
And if he's up, if Zach Collins is up, he's that good, right? He's that good. Trade his fucking ass. And I'm sorry, Z-Dog, I like you. You're a very nice guy. You're very friendly to us. You know who the 108 is, and I appreciate that. But like, you need somebody to pitch. You can't pitch. So,
I'd love to see the picture you get for him.
Guys, I like all what you said, but I think
I bet it'd be just as good as James Shields.
Oh, now you're hurting feelings.
Yep. Well, I'm
he's being a son of a bitch back here.
I'm getting out of the tub.
I didn't say the T word. So, Junior, I didn't say that. So go ahead.
All right, so I like what you said there, my Sox over.
You did block me right the fuck out.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. Shut up. I like what you guys said there, but I think what's going to happen is, Teresi brought out the point. My Sox James McCann is better than like the bottom half starting catchers. And so his calculus is going to be, I either go and try and find a starting job, or I stay here where I know I've got at best a split of this job. And catchers age real fast, man. They age faster than Teresi. So the guy's 30 or 31. How many good earning years he got left? Maybe 2? I think he's going to go and find himself a starting job, second division team, and make a little bit of money because he's been good the last 2 years. I mean, he's been flat out good. So I think he's gone.
That's why you got to give him the money to stay.
You have to pay him. I agree.
Give him a nice contract to say, like, we want this as long as you want.
Absolutely.
And we have the money, so it's not even an issue. Like,
But he's not a starter. So you
And
can't.
Jerry loves spending.
You can't.
oh, Jerry loves spending
You
money.
can't go like we're going to give you 5 years, $25 million. Every year is an option. I think is the backup catcher contract of the future. I think that's the best way to handle that scenario.
All right, sounds good. All right, this next question is from Alexis Atwater. I picked GM.
Our new GM.
She said, pick your teammate in a must-win beer pong tournament.
So I'm terrible at beer pong. So this is going to be problematic.
Do we have to pick among us?
No, just anyone.
Anyone?
You know what I bet is, and I've never seen really anyone play beer pong except for the Barstool guys. I've seen them on a YouTube video play, and I think any of them would be a worthy teammate. But I bet this guy is awesome at beer pong. I don't know why, I just feel it. Matt Berglund. I bet Matt Berglund is incredible at beer pong. So I'm going to take him.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, do we have to pick a person from White Sox Twitter?
No, pick anyone you want.
I'm taking Michael Jordan then, because that motherfucker don't lose. So I'm just going to take him, and he is going to shit talk whoever we're playing.
This is a terrible choice.
Why?
Because he's going to play great. If you don't play great, lifelong grudge.
I'm getting with a lifelong grudge against you. That sounds like the Scott Burrell of world.
And he took it personally.
Here's how you're thinking very inside the box right now. If I have a lifelong grudge with the GOAT, with the greatest of all time basketball player, I have content till I fucking die or he fucking dies.
No, because he'll tell people don't read this guy.
No, and I don't care.
In fact,
I don't care. Not everyone likes Michael Jordan.
Don't tell Al Gore to turn off the internet.
No, I disagree. I think that's a shitty way to think of things. I think I should start more grudges. Now, based on that, I'm starting more grudges with everybody. White Sox fans, you're first, motherfucker.
For me, I think this is easy just because I'd go for the fun factor because they'll probably lose anyway. So I'll take bullets with extra onions because I know we'll get shit-faced and just have a great time. So we're probably going to lose because, I've played beer pong maybe 1 or 2 times my entire life. And I'm not horrible, but if we're playing a high-stakes match, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
He
So
feels like someone who's secretly great at it.
I'd like to change my answer. Jesus.
Little baby Jesus.
Little baby Jesus.
Little 9, 2 ounces, baby.
Jesus.
He can still work his magic. It's all good.
Wait, baby Jesus or Jordan? Who are you talking about? Jesus. Oh, okay.
Jordan can't work magic.
Baby Jordan, Harold Miner. That's your final choice. Harold Miner.
Then you have the-
This is a
Oh.
It's going long. All right, let's move on.
All right, the last question is from our guy, Laundry Base Cup, and it's a very important question, Jonathan. He said, mascot cancer does not get as much recognition as you think it should. So he wants to know from us, which mascot we think we would like to die from mascot cancer.
So I'm not going to go with who I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you my next conspiracy theory is that mascot cancer is actually a government created disease, and with all the cuts going on in DC, they're trying to make things work. Screech, the Washington Nationals mascot, the poor thing, it hatched only like 15 years ago. It's getting put down with mascot cancer. It's just not very unfortunate. And the real Screech is getting killed along with it, unrelated.
So Screech is like related to the eagle that lays the
The Eagle Man. Eagle Man.
Eagle Man.
Eagle Man, yeah.
They're related. Right?
Yeah.
That's the egg that was.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, that's Screech. All grown up. I'm gonna take that. What's his name? Zilly? Whatever the Philadelphia Flyers logo is. Gritty. Yeah, that motherfucker's got to get cancer and die. I don't like that. He's got the crazy eyes. He's gonna start touching kids. I don't like it.
He's gonna start touching
He's got eye cancer.
Now, this is not who I want to die either. I agree with Treasy. I'm just going to pick I see some clues or whatever. But I got a real bad feeling about Bernie Brewer. And the reason why is because they started using that other bullshit thing.
Barrel Man is really old. So I learned a lot about Barrel Man when I talk shit about him.
Okay.
And like I didn't know there was as much of Brewer's Twitter as there is.
Okay.
But I didn't even mention that thing's name. I just said, I can't believe the Brewers brought this shit out when they got Bernie the Brewer. And people were like, this is like the 175th anniversary of this thing. And it's like, it doesn't.
How cool is the Barrel Man, though? That
Despite what you might tell me, it looks more like a thing of milk than it does like a beer barrel. Like, like they came at me.
Yeah, they're going to slow down with you, huh?
So, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. I hope Barrel Man gets
shots fired.
Bernie the Brewer is going to die of COVID because when I saw the Sox game, he was not wearing a mask. He was just walking around. So
Jesus.
Even the shark in Lawrence's Fish is wearing a mask.
That's right.
And
You can never be too safe.
And those fucking lions over there by the Art Institute, they got masks. Everyone's got masks.
Goddamn masks.
Well, he's in Wisconsin. So. They opened bars like 9 months ago.
All right, everyone. That's the show. That's a Sunday soap. Thanks for joining us. Let's go get a White Sox winner today. Be as negative as possible, but let's get that fucking win and kick the fucking Cardinals' asses. Peace.
I'm going to do this to you.
Oh, I like what you're doing.
You like
I
that?
like what you're doing. It's very.
Look at that.
It feels like you're gonna blow out your shoulder like Edwin Encarnacion. That seems dangerous.
Oh, there we go.
See, you had too many of those carrot wraps, man.
All right. At the end of the stream. End stream.